Hello, hello, my crafty friends. It's Monday. Yay for Monday, right? Monday the 5th. The 4th be with you was yesterday, so I hope that you all had a great time celebrating that. I'm live there, so live in one spot. This is good. This is good. You like that? And I'm going to share this into another one of my groups, my team group, just because they might find something that they learned in here. Say hello when you join me. So I'll make sure I might show up now. There we are. I lose myself and then I find myself, right? Okay. 1 minute up and running. That's pretty impressive. So tomorrow, it's just a day away, right? Let me get these out of here. So I had a great time with people who showed up for the crop, and we visited and just caught up. So that was really, really nice. I hope that everybody else gets a chance to have spent some crafty time this weekend. Hope I have a stuck-on embellishment there. Okay, guys, 4 o'clock straight up. Can't wait to show you a few things I got in my pile here, and maybe there's some things that you have questions about. I don't know. We can visit a little bit about that. Trying to see what I got up on my board of new stuff. I've got to actually clean it up a little bit. It's like unorganized as all get out. So I must clean it up and figure out what's going to retire. I know my plan was to try and get things sorted out. Hi Bernice, how are you today? Very funny video you sent me, or reel, or whatever you want to call that. Very cute. But getting into the trailer, it is now getting warm enough to open that up, and I found out that we're going to have to clear out. I'm back. Yes, I am. I'm going to absolutely have to clear everything out of the front of the trailer to get to the back of the trailer where the stuff is at. So I didn't realize I was going to be doing that exactly. But definitely making a pile of stuff to get rid of. We'll see how this goes. So this is sort of the first of the month, not quite the first of the month, time for Stampin' Up, because they do not use the actual first of the month, but they're on the first Tuesday of the month, second Tuesday of the month, depending on how well, it's most of the time it's the first Tuesday of the month, which is today. Or I'm sorry, tomorrow. Tomorrow is the first Tuesday of the month, which is also like the 6th business day, I think. No, maybe not the 6th business day. I was trying to figure this out because somebody asked me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6th business day is actually the 8th, when I'll have the finalized reports as to who got what kits and stuff like that. So hang tight with me, guys. Hang tight. All right, so let's get to chatting. Bernice, thank you for your order. I saw that. I am still not getting emails in regards to the address that is associated with people who order, which is rather annoying. So I'm going to try and see if we can't get this figured out. It's really beyond my technical knowledge. I have tried a few hours. So let's talk about the Stamp It Your Way class. It is going to be these hanging tent cards. So here's, it's kind of like a little easel card, but it's got this little flap on the inside. And it is using a collection that is from the online exclusives only, Sips and Celebrate, or Celebratory Sips. We'll check for, when I get down to that. But you will have 6 cards to do. They do fold up nicely to mail. They look a little bit kind of thick. Just have to put the accordion in the center. And we're going to black cherry and this beautiful strawberry slush and timid tiger, which actually I like better than I do pumpkin. It looks more like an orange to me than pumpkin does. And cheers. I used Prismaglitter on my ice cubes, because I always think ice cubes sparkle. Hey Di, how are you? So we're coming in one place but not another. Maybe you just commented. Good to see you here. We sure missed you at the crop. So this weekend we virtually cropped. So that was kind of cool. Get together. It's a no frills crop. Everybody's doing their own thing, but it's nice to do it with other people and share friendship and that. So this is our class die, just so you saw that. Put that over there. The next thing I want to know is that May 6th is like huge. And one of the big things is that you have this kit that will be available for people, and it is really a nice price tag because it is $100. I just round up, guys. Simpler, don't you think? Just to round up, but you get like $65. Are you still not feeling good today? Sorry, we have to check out my dies here. I'm really, really sorry that you haven't felt well. That really kind of is not very fun at all. So it's like $165 a product. I'm actually just going to write that on. For $99, which is $100 in my book. Close enough, right? I'm really sorry that you're not feeling good. It just doesn't seem very fair to me. That starts May 6th through 31st, so that's a heck of a deal. And if you purchase enough that, you know, you can do $300 a month, or $300 a quarter, which is like $300 a quarter. I should do this, which is actually $280. No, that's not right. $260 there. $260 in 3 months, which is $100 per month. Most of us can do that, or $80 after your discount. Not bad. Plus, you get 10% back in rewards because you too get to participate in Hostess Rewards, which I think is so cool that you guys get to participate not just as a customer, but also as a demonstrator, that you'll get to play in that way, which is, you know, essentially you got 20% off. That's your discount. And then you get some more goodies. All right, enough of that spiel. Let's see what's still going on. We have the Stampin' Reward program. We just kind of touched bases on that. There's still 75% off some of the paper pumpkin, old kits, and accessories. There is not much left there. It is time to sign up for paper pumpkin for May. You have a couple more days. The 10th is the last day to do that, okay? And I have to figure out some giveaways, so that's coming. Now the insanity kind of starts. You have an annual catalog that is releasing, and you have an online exclusive. And I really can't go through the online exclusive stuff. I can keep that covered up. This is just a reference guide on that, but it is a lot that is going to be released. And I am going to do you all a favor, because I can't show you the inside of the catalog until tomorrow. But I can show you that I am going to upload this document, which includes January February, so this is like all of January's. Then we have March's, so there's a bunch in January, there's a bunch in March, and then we get to the very back, which happens to be still our March, and we have the May 2025, which is 3 sheets of paper. 3 sheets of paper. I can't show you that piece of it, so I'm going to post this up in there so you guys can print this and be able to check things off just like you would in the catalog. So that's that. That all goes live tomorrow. Well, it goes live at my time at 11 p.m. West Coast time, because it's on midnight Montana time, but that's like 2 a.m. Eastern time, so you guys aren't going to be wanting to do that. My system is being really funky, so I can't give you... I don't know why it's being wonky. I have a quick hit, Everyday Life, or Everyday Happiness, which is the paper that was used here, which was Everyday You and Me was the workshop. And we created some really pretty pages with this. Yeah, and then here is the second page, and it only took 3 sheets of the SP to create these layouts. So I have this guide if you get the Everyday Happiness paper pack, and we did use the Everyday cardstock, Everyday You and Me cardstock, as well as the nested dies, which created this, and then these roses are created by the Everyday You and Me stamp bundle and dies. The thing that I like about this color scheme is that it's pretty neutral and, you know, masculine. And even with the roses, if you did not glitter the roses and you just left them simple like I did, you would be able to use this with guys, I think. And even if you wanted to change the colors of the roses even more so that they were, take out these colors that might be a little too girly and make them all browns, I think that would work. Or you could change the dye that you use, Stampin' dies that you use, to something that would be more masculine. I know a bunch of us are always looking for more neutral. My girl is not a girly girl. She likes to make sure that we all understand that. And this is Better Together. I'm kind of in love with this mossy reward, or mossy green color. It almost kind of reminds me of a pine or a ponderosa. Not quite as blue-green, but it's still really pretty. So that is one workshop guide I have for you. Another workshop guide with paper that still is here is Meant to Be. And these are up in the album so you can see. Super cute pages, super fun. And going to be working on a adventure travel one. You have the titles come so you can use the titles and do print and cut in the guide. And this was done with the actual workshop. So this is the Meant to Be workshop, so that you got some little extra cutie patootie things in there and some stickers and that you wouldn't normally have with the paper. But you can create some of this without having that paper pack. All right. So that is our big thing. Now I was playing this weekend because I had swap cards that I had to get done, right? Nothing like the last minute. And I was using the Beautiful Gallery collection, which is kind of an interesting looking collection. It seems more muted, might be the right color. The word is muted. Let me get those out of this pack. But the backgrounds of these paper, so like there's 2 of that, and of course you get a total of 4 of each sheet, which makes it interesting when you're making a swap. You only make 4 of the same card. And then here's this, which I created. Let me show you how I use this. This is one of the papers that I used. So there's only going to be 2 sheets left, and I made this. And the gallery blooms, is that? Yes. So this is the frame was made with this die cut, which is part of the gallery blooms stamp set. But I'm going to give you a heads up that this makes a perfect 5 1/4. But this part is not 4 1/4. It is like 3 3/4. I have it written down somewhere. So I have trimmed the bottom of the card off. This would be your normal, 4 1/4. And I've had to trim that down so that you actually could make that work. So that was a little interesting to me that they did that. I added liquid glass to this over the water. So the water had a shine to it when it catches the light just right. All right, so we'll do another one here in a second when we get to those papers. When you think of that, guys, this is a map, city map. Kind of reminds me of Paris, or even Washington, D.C. for that matter, because Washington, D.C. like grows into itself. And then you have these roses. This background is got that kind of a beige, basic beige, and crumb cake with the orange, which could be Calypso Coral is what it looks like to me. And the front of that is these bases. Now, that's kind of like, you think about that. But if you use the frame, like we did here, like I did here, and you capture a part of that, do a 5 by 7 card or that, put this on a page, these actually work really well for that. So it's not color-wise the most bright. This paper I think would be really good to like spot color some pieces in there. And the front part of that is this beautiful like dusk. And the sun starts to go down over the meadow, and then you have like your little creek coming through. There won't be any of this left because I used all of this, I think. But I, again, liquid glass the creek. I don't know if you guys can see that. So that was very, I thought, helpful to liquid glass that. I just thought, you don't want to do anything kind of glittery or shimmery on colors that are this muted. But that liquid glass just makes those colors really stand out and makes the river pop out at you, or the creek. And then we have this paper, and that's the back side of this paper. And I use those on another card. You'll see here in a second. Along with this, which is that paper. And these cards right here. So I made this cute little pocket card that's kind of like the bee cards that we did last month. No, not last month. For March was the stamp of, or the Stamp It Your Way class. I did this. This whole pocket holds a little gifty. It can be, here's a slide in and put this in. You can put a gift card in there. This is a design I will use a lot, and I went back and forth about putting this on the front of it. I might do a belly band next time because I got the scene worked out on this card so that the scene was all there, but then I ended up covering the scene up with my other part of the frame. So I might do that a little bit differently. Yeah. Then we have, this is a rose. It's one of those ones that grows as a bush rather than like just the bush. It's more like a vine. It climbs up the side of the house. And then this looks like oil paint that's just kind of been scraped. Now I saw some absolutely gorgeous cards with this particular paper, and I cannot wait to see what if I can find those cards again to create. And this is the back side of that paper. So even if you're not a fan of these like charcoal sketches, there's some very beautiful papers here on the back. So definitely a very different vibe. I absolutely love the stamp set that goes with, is this it? Sentimental framing. And I got carried away with cutting, and so I didn't check to see if this was a full a full card front. So I will play with this frame and see. This has a lot of intricate die, or intricate, like you pierced it. So that looks cute, but I love the sentiments in here. Yeah. Sentimental framing. There was this. Let me peek really quick. I feel like I'm showing you a wrong stamp set here. I know this is so silly, guys. I'm sorry. But it kind of builds to the excitement, right, guys? I'm going to see what, because I feel like I'm missing something with the... I do have the wrong one. So it's not sentimental framing that goes with this, but that frame I pulled out after I discovered that these were not exact. But the other one is the beautiful motifs, which if I can see it here, I'll show it to you, but I do not see it, and it's got some great elements in it. So that's sort of our little get ready for tomorrow. You've got your new in colors. Your in colors are going to be, I do not have the cloud because they're trying to get it fixed. Darling Duck, Timid Tiger, Strawberry Slush, and then Secret Sea, which reminds me of our harbor, and Cloud will be coming soon. All right. Any questions? Anything you guys want to see that I might have on hand? Maybe? You've been on my mind. Thinking of You and Hello came out of the other beautiful motifs. What would I put in here? Thank You for Everything. Also, again, out of beautiful motifs. Anything you guys want to see? I just wanted to... Something has happened to the font on the website. It is a little interesting, to say the least. Not so sure I like it. So let's see if I can get this. Yes, it is $165 for product in your starter kit for $99. So I got that right. All right, folks. You're welcome, Bernice. You're welcome. So there's one sneak peek, and we'll go through sweets. Oh, you know, we have 10 minutes left. Let's look at this one. We don't need these out here. I already have outgrown the stamp organizer thing that I have, you guys. So I'm going to have to figure out yet another stamp organizer. So I have two. We'll get these out of here. And galleries. Paper. Let's take a look at these. I got out a glue gun. So I did find my glue gun. You know, oh, hey, look at this. Here's beautiful motifs. There you go. And in this is a card kit for, I said Welcome Gardens, which I have been wanting to play with, but honestly just haven't had time to play with. It's been kind of a, not enough time in the day, guys, but at least I got, 9 hours of cropping. So we're going to play with this, and you get crumb cake, and you get the fence, which I thought was really cool. I'd love it if we had dies to the fence. I think that would be so cool if on some of these if we had dies. Not all of them. So here we go. Bernice, have you gotten this kit yet? I know that you get some kits, and I know that you placed an order, and thank you very much, and thank you, Di, for your order. I'm going to place my order tomorrow. So there's your stamp set. Kind of interesting with the little lines here. And here's our cards. So we will play with these cards. Ooh, those are pretty. It looks like they are all kind of the same. So we might just cut those cards in half, right? Clouds. Very pretty. This is actually some brighter. I didn't feel like this was as bright in the online as it is in person. So this is actually pretty. Nice bright colors. Lilacs, hydrangeas. Huh. I'm not sure what else. Daisies. Okay. We got that one, so we'll put those together, and then Di, you had really wanted to see the, put this stuff in here, flowers, and making the flowers. Now, here's the box. It's kind of tough to have things. You have, like, it's really the wire they use in the florist shop. And here are your directions, and it does tell you this goes with that. And how your beads, and you have a hot glue gun that you've got to have for this. And these are tissue. This reminds me of crepe paper that, you know, you would decorate with. There's that. Here is leaves, and they are not really they're cardstock. They're pretty thick, but then you kind of go through all of this very thin tissue paper. So when we go to put this one together, guys, this shall be an interesting challenge for me as well as probably anybody else. But it does go through and tell you to, you know, do a circle in here, put the bead in that, and use your pliers. I always have a pair of pliers here. If you don't, people should always have a pair of needle nose pliers to get out things out of things. Your hot glue gun, and it shows you how to build the center around the bead, and then you add your flowers on the bottom. So while it looks a little intimidating, I didn't like have a panic when I started looking at how they actually assembled it. They do not show you flower by flower how to do this. So I will probably try to make one of each flower before I show you guys how to make one of each flower, so I don't make a complete fool out of myself. So let's do this on Thursday. Everybody game for this? And we'll come up with some other giveaways for Thursday. Today I don't have anything because those are my swap cards. Can't give those away. All right, guys, I will see you on Thursday. Maybe tomorrow when we do the release, I might do another video on some of the very, very cool stuff I cannot wait to get my hands on. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great week.